About a year ago, I made a video about a movie I never really liked, and oh boy, have I been feeling the effects of that ever since. Roughly once or twice a week, I get an alert on my phone telling me that someone commented on it to tell me how wrong my opinions are. But the funny thing about engagement is that just because the comments tell me I'm wrong doesn't mean all or even most people believe that. It's just the people who are adamant that I'm wrong are much more likely to leave some asinine comment, which indicates that they either didn't understand or in many cases didn't even watch the entire video. So, I'm sorry fans of Glenn Gary, Glenn Ross, because despite your constant hand-wringing, the thumbs up to thumbs down ratio is still right around 50%. So let me tell you about another movie that many love, but which I've always hated, The Big Lebowski. You ever see someone who is absurdly famous, wealthy, and successful, and you wonder to yourself, how is that person absurdly famous, wealthy, and successful? That's The Big Lebowski, or at least it is to me. The Big Lebowski is a 1998 comedy directed by the Coen brothers that many people love and consider to be the absolute peak of comedy. So they quote it all the time and laugh to themselves even though it isn't funny and everyone is stupid except me.
Everyone is stupid except me.
Let me take you through a typical scene in this comedic masterpiece.
It really tied the room together.
Forget it, Donnie, you're out of your element. Donnie, you're out of your element. That rug really tied the room together, did it?
It's subtle and might go over a lot of people's heads, but the joke here is that all the main characters repeat the same lines over and over again. The lines themselves aren't funny in any meaningful way, but by repeating them, they somehow magically become humorous. Get it? It's funny to repeat things over and over again until they become jokes. Then you can put them on t-shirts so other people recognize them and you can both laugh together at how funny that rug really tied the room together really is. Now granted, using repetition to induce humor isn't anything groundbreaking. Who's on First and similar comedy sketches are as old as recorded comedy itself. But what makes these classic comedies classic is how the lines being repeated has meaning. It adds context to create a humorous situation. Whereas in The Big Lebowski, the repetition is the joke.
Say the line, Bart!
Donnie, you're out of your element doesn't become any funnier the third or fourth time it's repeated. It's that it's repeated that is supposed to be funny. But okay, fine, it's not funny, who cares? Well, this brand of non-humor permeated the late 90s and 20-aughts. A comedic shortcut, devoid of anything clever or interesting. Just have people repeat a line and boom, you've got a joke. And since its inception, this unfunny humor hasn't gone anywhere. You see this all the time.
When anyone in this house wears white, it doesn't stay white for long. White to soccer?
I'm not gonna slide tackle.
He's gonna slide tackle.
I slide tackled.
And the thing is, once you strip this unfunny humor from The Big Lebowski, none of what remains is funny or interesting either. It's just silly. Oh, haha, it's funny because Lebowski sounds like an uncommon name, but someone else has the same name. Oh, that's funny. Oh, haha, Sam Elliott is here to literally tell the audience that this character is compelling and interesting because... well, he just is, okay? A few years after The Big Lebowski, another comedy, Napoleon Dynamite, seized hold of audiences in the collective comedic lexicon. It was a low-budget, independent film about comically loser characters, and was full to burst with humor that had us all quoting lines whose humor hinged on randomness and awkwardness, that without the context of the film simply aren't funny. But in the years since, I've encountered many people who said they didn't get or didn't like Napoleon Dynamite. Whereas saying you don't like The Big Lebowski is akin to some sort of cinephilic heresy for its sycophantic fans who can't imagine how you can possibly not love this comedy. Well, The Big Lebowski sucks. It's a comedy that isn't funny or interesting and represents an absolute scraping of the bottom of the humor barrel that only the most drug-addled losers or perpetual Redditors can find funny. Or, I just don't like it. There you go, have at it.